Y'all got sound now? It might be this microphone. Wait, I know what it is. Hold on. Y'all bear with me. Where's this thing at? Where'd it go? Well, we might not have the mic tonight. Let's see. Hey, Christina. Yo, hold on. Just a sec. It's gonna kill me. I gotta find it. I can't stand it. That's how I am with some of my tools sometimes when I just set something down 5 seconds ago and can't find it. But it'll be all right. Y'all got sound now? Yeah, good deal. All right. Well, we ain't going to worry about the mic tonight. We'll just use the old laptop. Pull this out. Y'all excuse me, man. We're behind, so. Well, I hope everybody is having a good week. I hope everybody is, making progress. Maybe you learned something new this week. Amazon is looking for contractors to do their appliance repair business. Send in an application for that. So you guys might want to check that out on Amazon. They're looking for people. So, yeah, any of y'all got any questions y'all want to start with? Let's start with some questions here. Where's everybody at? Have you already started your business? Are you thinking about starting it? Or, I want to know where you guys may be at, because if you're already fixing appliances and you feel good about going in customers' homes, then that we may have some good information for you guys. There's nothing wrong with going and talking with people. If for one, if you're going to be in this business, you're going to have to talk to people. You're going to have to deal with the public, things like that. And, so if you got good customer skills and feel comfortable going and talk to a manager of a property management place or, condos, we got a lot of property management companies here in our area. So one of the things that, you could go get you some calls is go talk with some of them guys. And, some of them may already have somebody working for them, but that don't matter. Just tell them to give you a chance. Maybe try to find out what some of their pricing may be and see if you can offer them a better pricing without, cutting yourself too bad. But another thing is good to check out would be old appliance. So, and sometimes they may have a customer to call them and say, hey, you know anybody that does appliance repair? And then there you go. They'll give you your number out. I did that. If you're in a good area where you could keep a good, reliable of used appliances, if you can get a good source, then that's good. Okay, here we go. How do you deal with? Well, once I plug in Amazon, I plug in Google, I check with the parts house. Very seldom have I bought used control boards or whatever, like off of eBay. Sometimes there is a company over in Texas that you can, like if it's a control board, because a lot of times control boards go obsolete. You can send them off and get them rebuilt. There was a company in Texas we do that with, but really, if you stretched all your resources, you've looked at Amazon, you've plugged the part number in on Google, there ain't nothing really we can do about it. In that case, we still serve the people still have to pay the service charge. So, it's not our fault that the part's no longer made. My favorite repairs. Well, I love thermal fuses on dryers. Actually, I love the heating elements on dryers. Done so many of those. Those are pretty good. I'd probably say the Samsung parts have gotten pretty universal there a little bit. So that's fine. Okay, let's see. It's loud now. So probably dryer jobs. I like dryer jobs. Some refrigerator jobs. I love the bake heating elements and ovens and ranges and stuff like that. I'm just about to start. I just finished all the paperwork I've worked on and off my father for years. I'm not going to say I'm very romantic, but hey, as long as you feel comfortable and you know that you could go in there and your confidence, and like I said, there's been plenty of times, as long as you look like you know what you're doing, you're not stressing out, you just staying calm, cool, and collective, and diagnosing in a timely manner, you're okay. Some people stand over and watch you a little bit, but the more you do, the more you'll get used to. And if you've already, fixing on appliances, you should do just fine. Yeah, that's right. That's scary. Well, and here's the thing too, Ron. Always have your phone handy on you. If you can troubleshoot, you can always plug things on Google. If you think a part number is, you got a part number to a part, and different things like that. You can, YouTube and Google is always great. I still use it to pull up lookup codes sometimes, different things like that. Utilize it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it at all. Oh, no idea. Let's see. I announce old stuff better than the new. Yeah, you talking about like keeping the my phone's going off. I try to keep the older appliances around. Yeah, I've had a couple of those this week, so yeah. How do you positively identify a bad control board? I mean, without just process elimination, I want to learn voltage checks for boards and don't know how. Okay, the best thing for you to do is, if you're working on an oven range or you're working on a washing machine or a dryer, or even a refrigerator. Refrigerators are, they could be a little bit, but they pretty much tell on themselves with error codes and different things like that, and checking proper voltage. So let's say I was on an oven range the other day. A double oven, and I put a control board in it, and this control board that I put in, they had the bottom one heating, but the top one was not heating. So when I put the new control board in, well, then they both stopped heating. So I whipped out the diagram, and diagrams are pretty simple when it comes to appliances. They're not that hard. Mostly open and closing circuits. You can get on YouTube and learn, you go on the schematic, it's going to have what resistance, some of them may or may not have resistance, but a lot of times when you're dealing on a wash machine and you're on a user interface, it'll have a text sheet in there. That text sheet will pretty much tell you what pins you're supposed to have resistance at, what voltage you're supposed to, be at certain pins. Also, the control boards have pins on them. They'll be like P17, P18, P19. And you're supposed to have resistance on P19 to P2 over here. You're supposed to have this amount of resistance. So that schematic is going to tell you, what to do. And so say if you don't have a schematic, I've been on a dryer where I didn't have a diagram. Well, you'll get used to seeing wires. Okay, you'll see the 3 or 4 wires coming out of the terminal block. I'll look and I'll trace them, my L1 and my L2, and I'll look and see where that's going into, try to identify it. And so checking power here, and then, I didn't have a schematic the other day, and I knew I wasn't getting power coming out of this one terminal, and I knew that normally I get about, 10 to 12 volts DC coming out of this, has to be going into this board. So it's not that hard, really. Shoot, if I can learn them, you can, anybody can learn them. Voltage, the main thing is just resistance and voltage. And like I said, on these refrigerator control boards, they have codes. They'll blink codes at you. They'll throw up all kind of different things at you to point you in the right direction. Whirlpool dryers are great. Yes, honestly, really shines in this field. Okay, yeah. So I think there's a lot of people here. I got a good buddy of mine that I've been talking to now for a couple months here, and I enjoy talking with these guys. That's Matt Moss and his little brother Mike Roberts. Talk with them guys, a lot of check in with them. They do flip washers and dryers, different things like that. I always enjoy talking with them, staying busy, obviously, because every time we talk, we are on the road or delivering an appliance or doing something. So, but great guys. They comment here, and you can be sure to ask them any questions too. Especially if you're flipping washers and dryers. Be sure to ask them any kind of questions and hit them up. Yeah, Jeremiah, no problem, man. Like I said, I shot a video on the new ice maker kit that comes out for the Samsung. And what this Samsung kit is a new control board. It also comes with a new heated ice water, the ice fill cup for the ice maker. It has a heated shield around it. And so, and the time is a little bit longer on the control board. I thought it was going to be kind of a hard install, but it's actually fairly simple. We shot a video on that, and I will be posting that. I'll probably post a lot of my videos up tomorrow evening. But yeah, no problem, guys. I tell you what, probably my second year doing appliance repair. Really, your first 3 months of really getting out there and doing this is what's really going to, test you. Don't be impatient. And what I mean is like, set a goal for yourself. If you could get 3 calls, well, at least at a bare minimum, that's $300. Okay. And if you got a way to get hooked up through a warranty company, this is how the warranty company stuff is going to happen. They play a numbers game. And what I mean by that is we're at a set number of, we're at a unit price at $140. Okay. Other people may be at 160, 180. Well, we're going to get the calls. We're going to get the calls before anybody else does, because at that rate is not the cheapest by no means, because there's some people that's just in there at 95. But there's going to be times where that number is going to get hit. It's going to go up. It's going, instead of being 140, you're going to be at like, when you get above $225 and you constantly getting hit, like say if there was a wash machine you had to replace, or say if there's a refrigerator line just on doing warranty work. But right now, for somebody that's starting out, you're trying to get any kind of calls, any kind of which way that you can. If you're not maintaining 3 calls a week, you need to get your butt out there and go talk to some people. I mean, that's what I did. I went out there and talked to everybody, walked in, had my card ready, had my insurance ready, had everything ready for what, I knew what they was going to be looking for. Make sure you have all that handy with you, because that's the first thing they're going to ask you, is that right there. Insurance. At least got to have $1 million policy. I mean, that's key for sure. Nobody's going to accept you if you don't have $1 million policy, pretty much. So, so make sure you have all that presentable and ready in a file, to whip out real fast to these managers. I mean, for sure. And that's most of the questions that they're going to ask you. And of course, they'll ask you how long you've been doing this, and just be honest with them. Tell them, hey, I work on this, and this, and this, and that's what you tell them. Quite frankly, the town that I first started in, when I told them, hey, I just got in this, just got started, like, they loved it. Like, man, that's great, So people will fill you out, when you go to talk to people. I mean, that's in anything, really. Man, my allergies are so bad. Golly. But yeah, I've been stuck on a video game. That's it, man. I bought this game. It's the Farm Simulator. It's pretty cool. But I think I mean, in this business, it's like what really got me was how fast you can make the amount of money that you can make. And when I say fast, it's not like, fast like gonna happen quick, but there's been plenty of weeks to where like there'd be like 2 weeks I was so busy, and then the next 3 weeks I was slow. So I play I got Rocket League. That's the game I play, is Rocket League. I play what's that other game? I did get the Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty. I haven't played that in forever. My gamer tag is It's Childress, ITZ, and then CHILDRESS. Y'all can hit me up. I'm on Xbox. But I know this channel is all about appliance repair and different things like that, but learning how to manage money is another thing. You got to be able to, once you get to a level of running so many calls a day, I mean, this is generally how it's going to start. You'll start with 3 calls a week. Then you'll get to 5 calls a week, which that's 1 every day, which is great. And then if you can maintain that 5 call a week, that's without the pound symbol. That's right. Yeah. Oh, hashtag. Never mind. You know me, man. I ain't used to the hashtags there. So if you could get to 5 calls a week and maintain that 5 calls a week, well, then you're going to be doing well for yourself. I think being able to really stick back about 25% is a good number, and generally insurance and generally insurance is going to be like $700 a year, and then you're going to have like well, you're not going to be at that point yet. So I think the best thing to do is probably going to be at 25%, because you may have some left over at the end of the year. I think that if you could, stick that back, you will be in great standing. 18 at a minimum, but generally 25% covers a lot of different things, because there's going to be times to where if you do have this amount of warranty work coming in, they pay you every 2 weeks, which generally now it's like this. It just rolls like this. But I think if you could just stick back 25%, that'll cover your taxes. That'll give you another 5% that's just going back into, different things, maintenance on vans, making sure you can have your, vehicle stocked up, different things like that. So 25% will definitely cover that. Honestly, 30% is I know that seems like a lot, but really 30% is a good amount to really stick back, because that allow you to stick money back to actually grow. You may have an opportunity to go get a load of appliances, or you may have to it just gives you different opportunities and gives you different doors and outlets that can help you and benefit you in business itself. So I think that's a good start at the stick back. And you got to do your taxes monthly, especially when you start doing amount of calls. Monthly is the best way to do it. You ain't having to do it quarterly. It's too much. And hire somebody. If you can handle your taxes and do it well, then that's good, but handle somebody. Okay, so there's 2 county taxes. There's generally 0.75%, and then there's the 0.07%. Labor is not taxable as far as just doing the service charge. Now, if you go and do a repair, now this is in my area, if you go and do a repair, it's labor plus the parts. And, so you got that percentage you got to hold out. Then you got your all your federal taxes. And then if you keep up with your gas receipts, your internet bill, your phone bill, let's see, gas, phone bill, and of course parts that you're having to buy, like tools, like extra stuff that you may have to buy, keep up with that. You can also keep up with your TV too, because the weather kind of does predict what you do, so you have to have that. So that's another thing. But phones for sure, gas for sure, that really hits that bottom end number right there real well. So, that's why I say about 25 to 30% just safe to hold out. But really, if you want to crunch it down, it's about 18%. So 18% is right here in my area is generally where everything's at. But, like I said, that other percentage that you're going to stick back is going to give you a cushion in a lot of different ways. And so it's good to go ahead and do that now, because like I said, you don't know what kind of opportunity is going to present itself. Let's see, what else? I got them dishwashers. I got that dishwasher that I'm going to be putting out. That dishwasher is a Whirlpool dishwasher. And man, this thing give us real, man, we put a control board in it. First, went out there, circulation pump was bad. Checked voltage, made sure it had voltage coming out of the control board into the circulation pump, had voltage. Circulation pump was bad. On this particular one, you got to order the whole bottom assembly. Excuse me, guys. And so that thing was like $112. Now this is a warranty call, so this sucks. Get there, put the thing on, and now it's doing something else totally different. Circulation pump's working, drain pump's running, and drain pump is running the whole time. Like, don't shut off. I'm thinking, well, man, did I cross the harnesses? But no, the harnesses can only plug into a certain spot. So I don't know what happened. So ordered the control board, and I had a feeling the drain pump was burned up. So put a board in, put a drain pump in, then it went doing something totally different. It would run and then it would just shut off. And man, after dealing with this thing, I just had to replace it. Honestly, I had to replace the dishwasher for them because, and I got it sitting out here with all this part money in it. It's crazy. So that's the one I'm gonna do the video on. And there's a lot to dishwashers. There's a lot of good money in dishwashers. LG, man. LG sucks. LG and Samsung sucks, man. We got a guy that does our, as far as like putting the compressors in and putting the evaporators in. But like, you know, I can diagnose any kind of issue with it. And I think what's happening is, I think, you know, what's happening is they're not putting enough oil in that compressor. I just don't believe they are. And I think that that's possibly what's burning them up. I know I used to do AC work on cars a lot, and I actually know a lot about it. And there was a certain compressor, I can't think of the model or the name of it, but we always check the oil in it because we pour it out in a cup and measure the oil. Now, this is for a car. And I think that when they did those LGs like that, I think that that's what the issue is. Honestly, I think they're not putting enough oil in them and it's burning them up. They suck. The dryers are clog up on them real bad. Other than that, they just quit pumping. I mean, that's generally what I see with them, or they'll leak. You know, I think out of compressors, condensers, and evaporators, I'd probably say compressors first, evaporator second, and condenser third. That's generally what I see on those. Samsung's the same. Samsung, generally what I see a lot of the Samsungs is their defrost issue sucks. They freeze up all the time. Thermistors and temp sensors go out all the time. Control board all the time. It's awful. It's really awful. I think, you know, if I was going to talk about the best brand out there to get right now, like I get asked this, and honestly, this is the truth. When it comes to washers and dryers, there's a company that's here in the Pensacola area, and they still sell Speed Queen. And honestly, when somebody is talking about a washer and dryer, I tell them, let's go with the Speed Queen. There's a company here that sells them. So if you want something that's still kind of good quality, then go with Speed Queen. Thank you, lover. I'm glad you got my message. Thank you. So Speed Queen, it would be a good washer. What do you think about servicing a Samsung dryer from rear vent area? Okay, so the Samsung, what I was doing at one time was where the exhaust hooks up at, you could pull the exhaust off and there would be, you know, like 1, 2, 3, there'd be like 3 screws, and you could pull that back piece off, and then you can actually there's another screw holding that pipe that goes into the blower house, and remove that, and that'll give you a little bit of room to check the that thermal fuse and the thermostat, but it's kind of hard to get to the check continuity on the heating element. So I was doing that for a little bit, but honestly, I think going the front way I would pull them off, pull the front off, and just go through it that way. Now, the dryers that you do service on the back, like, them are gravy, but honestly, seen so many of them. Like, I used to be intimidated by them, but now it's just like, just pull them apart. But yeah, hey man, I appreciate all you guys. Sorry, I let time sneak up on me tonight. I really wasn't planning for anything, but I'm just hanging out. Where are a lot of you guys from? But yeah, I know there may be a little small delay here in this thing here tonight, but it's okay. It's the beginning of the year, so Christmas is right around the corner. Summertime is always a good time. I mean, if I was going to start a business, I definitely wouldn't start around fall time. I would generally start springtime. That would be ideal. And a lot of people, they will just go and quit their job because they probably get so many calls and so many different things like that in their area. But I recommend, just for stress purposes and this only, which that's the main important thing. If you don't have the ability to flip appliances, you don't have the ability to do other incomes and different things like that, and but appliance repair, well, I think the main thing is going to be stick with a job and do these appliance repair calls on the side. That's the best way. Taylor, I am in the Panhandle. I'm in the Pensacola, Florida area. And Maryland, nice. Good deal. Yeah, so we have okay, let me tell you about this one. Went to a lady's house, put a bearing and shaft kit in. I'm telling you honestly, I've stay away from the ones that you can get off Amazon. I know they're a little bit cheaper, but I've kind of been having a little bad run in with those. So I say really go with OEM when you're going to put a bearing and shaft kit in a top load wash machine, for sure. Had one, put one in. I mean, everything went smooth. Everything went good, too smooth. We obviously couldn't run it because we wanted the glue and everything to seal in. So she calls the next afternoon and says it's making a noise. So I get there and, well, no, she said that it won't stop dripping. So I went in there, checked the water valve out. There was some trash in there, cleaned it out, ran it through real good, stopped that. And I couldn't hear it make no sound, like far as no roaring or nothing. But sure enough, as soon as we leave, it would make that sound. So we ordered new suspension and rod kits because I had a feeling it was, anytime I go to put a bearing in a wash machine, I think it should be recommended to get a suspension kit too, because you're going to be laying that washer on the side, and that can definitely do damage to the spring. So I do recommend, if you're going to do a job like that, to get the suspension kit. So went there, pulled it all back out, looked for any kind of area if it was rubbing or anything like that. Nothing was rubbing. So replace the bearing, and she calls back the next day and says it's quiet. So I don't know what it was about that bearing kit, but obviously it was bad. So I say probably stay away from those on Amazon. Now, some people are skeptical about the heating elements off there. I haven't had no bad run in with them. Honestly, I haven't. Rarely the thermostats that you can buy off Amazon. So I say, stick with them. Those, if a lot of people have a lot of speculation about OEM, and I mean, I understand about lawsuits and different things like that, but honestly, I mean, my grandpa was a mechanic for years. I've been in this for years, and I find what's good and what's not. I mean, honestly, that's truth. That's like you can go into Harbor Freight and get great tools, and you can go into Harbor Freight and get sucky tools. So. Oh yeah, yeah, man. Amazon is great too. I wasn't aware at the time too much about Amazon, and they may have not been selling the amount of parts that they're selling now. But Amazon's a great way, especially for you guys that don't have. Man, I got that bright light on me right there. That don't have a source to get an account through somebody, you can get a lot of great stuff off Amazon for real. I like Amazon. Sometimes I go to Sears Parts Direct because Marcone don't look up LG. They don't look up Samsung. I mean, they'll look them up, but their software don't have Samsung, LG, and Kenmore. So for those, I go to SearsPartsDirect.com and pull up their diagram and get the part number, copy and paste it over into Marcone. That way, I got the number. But sometimes before I even go to Marcone, I'll copy and paste it over into Amazon and see where it's at, and see if it's cheaper. And sadly, a lot of times it is. Now, I noticed that Amazon has caught on to, I don't have the part number on me right now, but they have caught on to the circulation pump for the dishwashers, for the Whirlpool dishwashers, that has that rubber piece there that honestly, I leave that rubber piece on there and just twist the pump off. They've kind of went up on their prices because dang, it's like $112, $126 my cost at Marcone, and I can get one off Amazon. I believe it's OEM. It's like $46. So when I first got started in this, my wife got so mad at me because I stayed on Amazon for like a year while I was doing different things. And everything about this business is obtainable, just like any other business. I think the main thing is being patient, having confidence in yourself and your work that you do, and patience. and what I mean is you may go out here for 3 weeks straight and talk to everybody that you know. You may talk to every property management company. You may talk to everybody. And for 3 weeks straight, you may have done this, and the next 2 weeks is dead. Well, you don't know, though, that 3 weeks that you put into going talking to everybody, it's been turning, it's been marinating. People's been panning your cards out. People's been talking. And that conversation that you have with all those people, something's going to tear up somewhere along the line, and they're going to remember you. They're going to remember you, and they're going to call you. I can a toaster. I haven't fooled with toasters much, so I couldn't tell you. Man, let me tell you, boy, that's a whole nother subject right there. uh, I can't fix your toaster. I might can fix your fridge, and I don't know about your marriage. Oh man. Thank God me and my wife's been married for 10 years and we've been through a lot, but sticking it out and talking and all this other good stuff, I'm glad that we've worked all the kinks out. Since 2012 is when I started appliance repair. Got into it 2011, but then officially started DC appliance repair in 2012. Oh, man. Sorry to hear that, bro. Oh, she needs a hard start, huh? That's hilarious. Oh, that's a good thing. I don't really install much hard starts on refrigerators because you can get a box of relays pretty cheap. I'd get a box of them and check them out. I remember, let's see, my first call. My first call was probably about 35 minutes away. And my first call was a slide-in oven range. And I believe it was given the F50 code for sure. And I learned how to pull the control board off. She had already given me the model number before I went out there, and that's a good thing to do. Somebody calls you, go ahead and see if you can get that model number. Sometimes they'll be home, sometimes they won't. But tell them, hey, can you send me a picture of the model number whenever? What's going on, Scott? And so that's a good thing. But I went out there, and I think it was given an F50 code. I probably spent about 2 hours out there. And I was confident enough that it was the control board. I tested a few places here and there, and this control board was like $328 their cost. And I think that might have been the parts, labor, and everything, $328. And my brother-in-law went with me on the first one because I'm so glad that he was there because I couldn't get my fat hand in that, like the wires were so short, so I couldn't get my hand in there to this one harness. And he has little hands, and so he was able to get in there and undo that harness. I was like, man, I'm so glad you was here. And so when I went back, my grandpa that I've been telling y'all, he's like, because they was cool people. He's like, you mind if I go with you? I was like, yeah, come on. He was joking with me. He's like, I'm going to see if you know what you're doing or not, like that. So I went out there and put that control board in, and man, it fixed it. I was like, and I was confident, but it fixed it. So that was my first one. And it was, I remember it like yesterday. So it was a little nerve wracking. And then my second one was on a Sub-Zero refrigerator. Not a Sub-Zero, one of them GE Thermadors, I believe. I think it's Thermador. No, Monogram or something like that. I can't think of the name of it. And it was the door switch to refrigerator. Simple door switch. I think, you know what? I haven't fixed a lot of door switches. I've only fixed probably 4 to 6 door switches. Honestly, that's just something that goes out. But that was my second one. Okay, let's see. Past 2 weeks has been. Okay, put it this way. Now, when I get bigger, you got to take in consideration that half of these are going back to install a part, and half of these are, first time completions. Uh, Generally, on an average, between all three of us, there's a good 8 to 10 calls per day that's possibly first time completions. We had the belt on, or we had this, something simple on, but we're running in between 20 to 25 calls a day. Now, that's not new calls. Again, that's something that's rolling over. But easily, new calls is, in between 40 to 60 all day long, for sure. We average about 10 to 14 calls a day just through one of the warranty companies. And that has been pretty steady. Like, when I say pretty steady, it's been like pretty steady because our numbers have been good. The other warranty company, probably, we ain't got too long hooked up with them. They'll probably give us about 7 a week on warranty companies on that one. So one's producing like 10 to 14 a day. The other one's about 7 a week at the most. Now, residential calls, we get, let's see, we had a lot the past 2 weeks. Residential calls is probably okay. So you gotta understand, like, when these warranty companies roll over, so like they're having to push somebody out like 2 to 3 days, like. All of us is packed out to like the next 2 or 3 days. That's like, we're humping. They're pushing, because generally the warranty companies is the thing that takes the longest, especially when the amount of control boards that we put in out here. Okay. So everybody that opened up a ticket this week, there may be 9-10 calls that's going to roll over on the next week. That's parts are going to come in. So, there's times where it stacks up. First American and Old Republic. And that's, like I say, the best thing for you to do to find the right warranty company in your area would be go talk to a realtor and tell them, ask them, what is the warranty company that y'all service? That y'all sell to these new home buyers or these people that's buying homes. If they tell you, blah, 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 well, call another realtor company and ask them what they're selling. If they're telling you the same one and both these realtor companies are selling a heck of a lot of houses, well, then that's the warranty company you want to go for. First American, I know that just about 30, 35, 45 minutes up the road in one area, they're not producing at all. So I think one of the best things to do would be contact these people that are selling homes and seeing which warranty company they're selling. That's the way to find the right warranty company in your area, wherever you're at, regardless. But yeah, you guys have any questions, man? Feel free to ask me anything. Y'all be sure to check out, I got I forget how many videos I got, but y'all can go and scroll back into some of my older videos. I got a lot of great information in there. Dishwashers is what I'm going to be uploading tomorrow. This one dishwasher that I was telling you guys about, we're going to be talking about how to properly install the dishwasher, how to realize when a dishwasher has been installed wrong, especially if you got a leak. A lot of times people install the dishwashers and they'll have them like this instead of tilted back. That's a very one thing that can cause a leak. Also, we're going to be talking about different areas where they'll leak, some of the things to keep on your van. I ain't going to have time to break down the microwave. That will be next week. We're going to be breaking down the things about a microwave and things that you need to carry on your vehicle to fix them. So we're going to have that. I was first intimidated by microwaves. I didn't like microwaves at all until I really got my hands on one and realized that they're not that bad. I didn't realize that, they're hanging by 2 bolts, and then on the back there's a lip that they fit on. And I thought, I would have to have somebody with me to work on microwaves. Found out that's not the case. Microwaves are good money makers too. I like those. So we're going to be going over those, dishwasher, and I still need to complete the other direct drive on the wash machine, actually pulling the transmission. Got so many different things going on. I try to find time to fit this in, but really enjoyed doing these videos like this. I wasn't as prepared because I let time slip beside me, but I hope you guys enjoyed this live Q&A. I'm going to have 2 of those a month, for sure 2 a month. So not this Saturday, but next Saturday we'll have another one. You guys be sure to email me. My email, you can ask any kind of business related questions, anything like that. Be sure to do that. Everything is attainable. Everything you want to do, you can go do it. I don't care if you got 500 appliance repair companies in your area. What sets you aside and makes you different? For one, could be your customer service. 2, it could be your prices. Not saying that you go cheaper or nothing like that, but I'm saying you is what sets you apart from any other company. And I've learned that that's just the truth. How you talk, how you interact with people, that will get you a long way. Honesty, being honest will get you a long way. Tell the people straight up, tell the customer straight up, hey, this is what's going on. If there's possibly other things, be sure to just be straight up with them. Share your mind a little bit without having to go into detail. Share enough information that lets them know that you've done all that you can do, and there's the chance or possibility that this may be another issue. Just being straightforward, it'll get you a long way. People will talk. This business will regulate itself. I will say that. You screw a couple people over and that will hurt you. That will get you, your name will spread quicker than wildfire, so always make sure you make it right with people, and you'll go a long way in this business. I mean, people don't know about this appliance repair stuff. I'm telling you, there more people will be doing it, but a lot of people's like, they think appliance repair and they're like, but they really don't know the amount of money that you can make doing this business, so it's great. I'm going to get into HVAC because HVAC, you can, your labor rate costs more, which, you got to do more things to get into HVAC, but that's okay. That's what we're planning on doing. But, stay going out here and talk. What's up, Chris G? Yeah, so, just stay talking to people. Let people know that this is what you do and get in everywhere that you can get in. Pass out your business cards. Utilize everything that you know how to utilize. You need a business card. You need a flyer. You need, you can buy email addresses. Man, I used to send out letters in the mail to get people. You know what I mean? Like, you can buy email lists. You can get email lists in your area. You can go and get post box things. It may cost you $1,200, but you could get the whole county. You know what I mean? So like, there's all kind of different ways that you can utilize to get your name out there. But one of the greatest is that footwork, getting on your feet, getting on your outfit, and going and talking to people. What's going on, Mike? Hey, man, I checked out. I sent it to you last night, but I caught one of your videos where you was talking about that boot on those front load washers, and I noticed it was the one that just had the screw to unloosen it and tighten it up. So, man, I popped that joker off, and it went pretty smooth, man. I appreciate that. I'm gonna start utilizing that because it took me about the same time to do the repair just this time because I was learning it, trying to make sure I did everything right. But definitely next one's gonna be a lot faster. Should new guys start with repairing one item, X washer and dryer? Yeah. If you're just comfortable doing washers and dryers, advertise that. Now other people will call you for other things. At first, when I ventured off into the refrigerator repair, I probably did just mainly top and bottom refrigerators. And once I got comfortable with top and bottom refrigerators, with the freezer on the top and the fridge on the bottom, and I started to really understand, about the heating element. I started to understand about the defrost thermostat, the little timers in there, the drains, and how everything works. Well, I then began to venture onto maybe side-by-side refrigerators. And when I got to looking at these refrigerators, I really began to understand that they're all the same, like far as how the refrigerant works, how the condenser fan motor is supposed to be blowing and move the air. The evaporator fans, they're supposed to be working, they're supposed to be blowing. If the evaporator fans motors are not on, but yet the condenser and the compressor's running, different stuff like that. I begin to then I'd venture off in and I'd get my French door refrigerator, and I'm like, okay, this French door refrigerator, I can't just open it up and go into it real fast. I got to pull the bottom door out, pull these drawers out, remove all these drawers out of these refrigerators. They're like a whole different animal. So and then, man, that was frustrating right there. I hated those refrigerators, man. I was like, I was raised a lot of old school ways in appliance repair, and then, man, these French door refrigerators is like, get the freak out of here. What are they thinking? But now it's like, hey guys, I'm about 15 minutes up the road. Could you guys do me a favor if you don't mind? I'm probably gonna have to get in this refrigerator. So if you don't mind, could you please go ahead and maybe try to get some of your belongings out of there? That would be very helpful. I'll see you guys in about 15 minutes. Sure enough, boom, get there. They have all the food out, and I just got to pull the drawers out. Shoot. Crazy. Yeah, I got the vid. That's right, brother. We help each other out, man. There's nothing hidden, dude. Like, if there's a trick of the trade that's like, hey, this is going to make this easier, hey, do it. That's right. I mean, I really appreciate that for sure. But now you got your vacation coming up, man. I know I'm ready for a vacation myself. Me and my wife was talking about that. I don't know if I want to go on a cruise or what I want to do, but we're going to plan it. We're going to do something for sure. But yeah, you guys be sure to check out my Instagram page too. I've kind of get back on that a little bit, posting up stuff, just doing jobs on the daily. I do plan on, like I said, we're going to have these Q&As twice a month. And, you guys be sure to check out Mike's channel too. We give each other a shout out. I appreciate Matt and Robert there. Matt, we appreciate you, staying and connected with us. Sparkle Shine, I appreciate you. He's over in Texas area. TMM Appliance Repair, all you guys out here. Mike Sneed, he's got some good information out there. I was kind of trying to go, doing some courses and different things like that. I think the only thing that I'm working on is the appliance repair blueprint. I'm still working on that. That's going to be great information about how to advertise. SEO teaches you SEO. SEO is not that hard at all. I've probably, in the course of business, I probably ain't even spent no more than, I say, under $3,000 advertising. Honestly, you don't need it. There's so many different ways that you can learn how to get yourself out there. And like I said, the main thing is just being straightforward, being honest. That'll take you a long way. But I appreciate you guys. I know I keep saying that, but I really do. This channel has grown so much. It really means a lot to me. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that you're being successful. And if you're not doing appliance repair and you're doing other things, I hope that you're successful in that area, because that's what it's about helping each other. There's so many people out here, and you got to be careful in who you can trust and different things like that. If for people that's really wanting to help somebody, it's actually easier. I know that sounds crazy, but it's actually easier for good, honest people nowadays. It's easier because when somebody finds a good, honest repair person or a good, honest person in general, they tend to keep that person around for any job, for anything. That you don't know how many times we get asked, do we do things outside of appliance repair business? Like, it's crazy, so if you do good business, that'll take you a long way, especially in today's society. So it's all about getting out there, talking to everybody that you can talk to. If you're already getting the amount of calls and you're looking to grow your appliance repair business, it's all about management. It's all about, trusting people. One of the hard things about this business is trusting somebody to come into your business, handle your baby, and take care of everything. That's the hardest part to do. And it's DC Appliance on the Go. Let's see here. Let me make sure I got that right. And so I'm gonna get back on this. Hold on. Let me look my thing up here. Yeah, DC Appliance on the Go. You'll see me on there. But that, that's the next step. I know some of you guys, you're at that step of maybe that's what you want to do. And, especially the type of people that we are in this business, we can read people pretty quick. We can read people pretty good. I don't know about y'all, but, when you're dealing out here in the public, you can read people pretty quick. So with that being said, if you're going to bring somebody on, 3 months is where the tells it all, because you want to know why. Because that person is going to be in that van going with you, hitting every job. You're going to learn everything you know about that person, and in 3 months, that's going to make them or break them. I don't care who you are. That's just the truth. If you get in 3 months is all it takes. If you're running 5-6 calls a day, that's all it's going to take them, or more. That's all it's going to take them. And so, and customer service is important, because there's guys that fix appliances, and I know, because I'm out here, and some of the rudest people, some of the rudest guys, like, can't even open the door with a smile on your face. Like, just walk right in. This one dude was like, man, this one dude that was here, man, he's like, I don't know what companies was, but man, he had to be on something, man. He said, I think he was hitting that crack pipe. I was like, what? He's like, yeah. He said, just come in, just real fast, didn't even like, just gone, boom. And that's like, no, we got to be efficient, got to be fast, and efficient. But don't be so efficient and fast that you can't even, have a conversation with the customer. Like, get the heck out of here. So, it takes that right person to come in there, that for one, that you can trust, because they can easily rob you blind and you wouldn't even know it. Make sure they ain't hitting jobs on the side. Make sure that, all the cash tickets that you're getting, they're actually showing you the cash tickets. Making sure they're writing down their taxes and doing their taxes right, all these different things, because, the guys here, they log into Marcon, they look up the part, they got access to the portal, they got access to emails. I can't sit here and babysit these guys. Like, I can't sit here and look up their parts, can't sit here and do none of this. It's got to be somebody that can do exactly what you're doing, besides, answering the phone calls, they got to be equivalent to what you're doing and how you're running your business. Now, they ain't going to be the same, but as long as they can get those basics and you can trust them with the basics and they're doing an efficient job like that, and you can build a good relationship with them, then that's the person you need. For real. Now, I don't recommend, if you ain't got to hire nobody, don't hire nobody. Honestly. Real honestly, the good part about it is when you got other people that's working for you and different stuff like that, you generally make about 10% off of them. But the thing is, though, you got to have them in order for you to run the amount of calls all day long, never fails, 7 to 9 calls a day. Those two other guys is what makes that happen, because of the amount of flow that you should be able to get. If you got a flow like that, you're going to need those guys. You're going to need them. And you're going to put in about 2 to 3 hours of paperwork in the morning, unless you got a secretary. And, be thankful if you got somebody that answers phone calls for you and can trust them. That's awesome too. Well, guys, we've in about an hour and 10 minutes. If there's anything y'all like to wrap up here, don't let me talk. Get in some questions here. Yeah. Well, y'all have a good night. I'm gonna give this a little bit more time here. It's about to be a new year. What is years, man? Years is like that. Years just fly by. That's why procrastination, and if I used to be, and I still am at times, used to be the world's worst procrastinator. I'd look up videos and look up so many different things, not knowing that I had the right information to be able to go start what I needed to start right then, but I was procrastinating. So years, they'll come by, they'll fly, in good 3 to 5 years, man, you could be well on your way. You could be well on your way your first year, but that year will be here before you know it. That second year will be here before you know it. Third year will be here before you know it. Fourth, fifth. And then at that 5 years, you're going to realize that, you got yourself in an awesome position, because at that 5-year mark, man, it's just like things is just going to shift gears. But, oh, yeah. Okay, so I meant to mention that too. Matt has got a video that I think that's what you're talking about how to repair the timers, I believe, in the Whirlpool dryers, I believe. And he's got a video that he's going to send me, so we're going to post that up. On doing that, and see this type stuff like this, like there's two different sides of the business. If you're flipping appliances, man, these great tips like this in this video, like how we're talking about, that's a great tip, because a timer is expensive. It's like it's like that timer is like $125, easily $90. And so with tips like this video here, that's a great way to, to not eat your profits, And then, when you're dealing with appliance repair and you're dealing with customers, that's a total different thing. But, coming from both sides of it, like for instance, the little lid switches in the wash machines that you got the little hole and they hit, the little push thing pushes the switch down, and like your simple Kenmore Whirlpool washers, they'll fall apart. And so I get a zip tie, zip around that joker real tight, and it would keep it. They're cheap, but I may do that for somebody if I'm out of a lid switch and they need to get by for the weekend. I'll patch it up for them till I get back. But things like that, when you're in the used appliance repair business, there's all kind of great tips out there that I'm pretty sure us guys can share with each other, and share this information. Maybe one day, I everything's about timing. I want to grow this channel a little bit more, but I think that us having a group that I'm going to be the moderator of it, there ain't going to be no bull crap like these other groups that's out there. I won't tolerate a lot of this stuff that's in these other groups, but we can share valuable information with one another. And like I said, I'll regulate that group, and it'll be a private group. And it'll only be a select few of us, and we can just, connect with each other and share good information. I think that's a good idea. It'll be a little secret group, and nobody, if you're not, part of this channel, or we don't communicate or talk, you know what I'm saying? No, you're not going to be allowed in this group. So it'll be people that we know, good appliance guys, and we can just communicate, and help one another, because that's what it's about. Well, guys, sharing this more appliance repair information. Look forward to those videos tomorrow. I don't know what time, but they will be up tomorrow. And appreciate all you guys, Mike, Matt, all you guys that asked the questions and different things. Let's see here. Make sure I ain't missed nobody. Scott, Chris G, Martin, Space Age, Pineapple, Work Email, Polaris Appliance Repair, Taylor Cousins, all you guys. Appreciate every one of you there. Y'all be sure to check these guys out. Jeremiah there. Appreciate you guys. So yeah, see y'all in the next clip. Y'all have a good night. Rest up for the weekend and get ready for the next week ahead. Take care.